everybody and welcome back. My name's Julienne Verhagen and we're in the middle of our Beating Procrastination and Improving Productivity talk. Thanks everybody. So here we go. We've got our list here that we've just created on what it takes to achieve true excellence in your workplace. So you've told me, yeah, you need communication, energy, goals. Someone said have a dream. Have a dream. Motivation and teamwork, all these things that you know you need to achieve in order to achieve excellence in your workplace. So, you don't need me. You know what you need to do. I'll just go, shall I? See ya. Come back, you say? Yeah, exactly. Why is it that we know what we need to do to achieve what we want, but we don't all have that sense of fulfillment and success in our lives and in our workplace that we truly desire? What's going on there? Well, I'd like to introduce you to a concept that we call the failure cycle. So this is all about when you set a goal for yourself personally or for your company as a whole. Yes? And you go, great, I've got this new goal, I'm so excited. So you're excited, you tell everybody about the goal, you put the plan in motion, you're all there, and everything's going great, yeah? And then something happens. You tend to avoid doing the very things you know you need to do in order to achieve the goal that you're so excited about. What's with that? Yeah? Anyone know what I'm talking about? Anybody here ever joined a gym? Yeah. Okay, so we know we want fitness, we need to go to the gym. Do we go to the gym all the time? Yeah, so there's those sorts of things there. What we want and what we really want to achieve, and sometimes there's this gap in the middle. We avoid it, okay? I used to be a drama teacher in a past life and I'm a bit of a Shakespeare buff. And there's a wonderful quote that Macbeth says in absolute regret and grief that his wife, Lady Macbeth, has gone. He knew she was in trouble and he avoided her. And he says, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace, yeah, to the last syllable of recorded time. What are you leading to tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow? Yeah, you don't want to be left with regrets. You want to get what it is that you really want. So we tend to go, oh, I'm avoiding. That's what we need to do. And so, you know what? I'm going to get re-excited. I'm going to come back here and because I'm just avoiding it. No, this is what I want. Get back excited. Yeah? But we don't tend to do that. What we tend to do is we're very good at making excuses. You know, I won't go out today, it's raining. Or, you know, I can't do that today, the dog's sick. Or I'm sick. Or my boss won't let me. Or I can't get overtime. Or whatever it is, yeah? And if you keep going down that track, you end up to the vertical drop to oblivion. Because you end up in blame. And you blame everyone else and everything else, global financial crisis, this, that, everything else, for you not achieving your goals. Now, just briefly, I'm not talking here about real life issues because life happens. You know, people do get sick. Global financial crises do happen. Things happen to get in the way. So that's not what I'm talking about here, because yes, you can need to readjust your goals sometimes. You know, when they went to the moon, we have the moon and we have the earth. Did they just go straight there? No, they had to make all sorts of course corrections. So they sort of did the whole push from the earth. That's kind of like being excited. You've got this springboard, yeah? And do you know they made over 300 course corrections until they could get to the moon? That's what we need to do. We need to make little course corrections because life happens. That's different to saying, I didn't achieve my goal because such and such did this to me, or because such and such did that to me. You are responsible for your own happiness. No one else is responsible for that, just you. And that's what we're on about here. Okay? Because some people tend to do this, particularly in certain areas of their life. They get excited and then they avoid. And then they make excuses, then they blame. And then they get excited about something else. And then they avoid and they make excuses, and they end up doing this. Until they end up looking back at their own lives and seeing themselves, particularly in a certain area of their life, as a failure. And we wonder why we have low self-esteem. You know, do you know some people that have a problem with their boss, so they change to another job and they have another problem with that boss and another problem with the other boss? Or girls, we know girls who get with the wrong guy, and then they get with another guy that's the wrong guy, and then another one. We tend to repeat our patterns, and there's a whole lot of reasons for that. But for now, it's enough to say that we tend to think of ourselves as failures in the goal-setting areas of parts of our lives because of this, the cycle of failure. Okay? So why do we tend to do this, avoid? Why do we do that in the first place? What's another word for avoiding? Procrastination. It's what we're talking about here. Exactly. I'd like to give you 4 basic reasons why we tend to procrastinate. The first one is that we tend to have the wrong goals. People set goals because of what they think they should achieve, or what someone else expects them to achieve, or what they think they want, but actually what they want is the feeling that they'll get once they get that. And sometimes you can achieve that feeling much more differently, isn't that great English? Much more differently to how they actually think they can get it. Yeah? So if you set the wrong goals, you're going to end up failing. Yeah? Or achieving it and not feeling the sense of satisfaction. Okay, the other thing we tend to do is not have a clear focus. You know, people say, I want to get out of this job someday. Okay, where do you want to go? Just anywhere other than here. That's not going to be clear enough to get you exactly what you want. Third thing we tend to do is, so hang on, we have second one here is no clear focus. And the third one is we tend to not have an action plan. People set goals, they even write them down, but they don't actually have a clue as to how they're going to get there. You know, if you've had no action plan, i.e. you're taking a nap, you need to get a map. Okay, so say we're going to go for right now, get in our cars and go all together from here, from Melbourne to Sydney. Okay? That's a good goal, isn't it? Going to go and have a weekend in Sydney. Beautiful, beautiful. Got a good goal. Is it a clear focus? Do we know what Sydney looks like? Yeah? Do we know when we want to go? Do we know how we're going to get there? Great. We know all the things we need to know in terms of be focused. But if we don't have a map, how on earth are we going to get there? I mean, you don't even get road signs to Sydney until you're on the other side of Melbourne. I could easily end up in Adelaide. All we can see is the road in front of us. We can't see any more than that. So you need to have the next step, then the next step in order to get there. And this is an absolutely crucial part that often, particularly in our personal goals, we don't tend to do. Okay, quickly, the fourth main reason why we tend to procrastinate is we have mental barriers. Now, why is it what are these mental barriers? Yeah, stuff from our past. Our parents, damn those parents, our teachers, oops, I was one of them, and, you know, what our peers, and what we see on the media, all around us, our environment. What's another word for mental barriers? Yeah, it's what we think about, it's our belief systems, it's our doubts, isn't it? Okay, now we're going to talk a lot about our doubts and ways that we can work through those and deal with those later. But for now, let's just have a look at where they come from. They come from our past. And we all have a past, and we all have, I hope, a future. So let's just put our little man here, running along, da, 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 running along from the past to our future. But you know what we tend to do? Is we tend to do this. We tend to go and look at our past. Yes, I really want to get to the future, but I know what happened in the past. Oh, I know what happened there. What's wrong with this picture? It's kind of like trying to drive while looking in the rear vision mirror. It doesn't work. Yeah? We need to be looking forward. And in a company, you can have the director looking one way, the CEO, but everybody else, because they're their own individuals, they're doing this. Oh, the boss wants to go this way. Imagine the power, the traction, the movement forward you can get if everybody's facing the way you want to go. So how are you going to do that? How are you going to get this little guy to look forward? That's right, we need something strong. You need a really big motivation. I'll just call it a vision, yeah? Something that everyone has together. In the workplace, if you have a strong vision together, let's give him some hair and a smiley face. There you go. Beautiful. So now this guy's looking the way he needs to go. All of a sudden, everything's moving forward and you get the traction that you need to achieve your goals. Now, there's a very important thing we've missed here. Everyone's got a past and we all, we hope, have a future. What are we missing? Yes, now! No! The only time that you have any power. The past is gone. Future hasn't happened yet. Your potentials, your possibilities, it's all right in the now. And that's why if you procrastinate, you're blowing off the only time that ever counts. You need to do things now. And we'll talk about that more after the break. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.